Ashley. Hey, baby. How are you? And we cannot wait to hear your story. So let's start with your, idea, 80 dates around the world. How did that come about, Sugar?
You're like, how did this happen?
I know.
How did you get so lucky?
Yeah.
That's what everyone said around the world, especially, given that I was meeting attractive men, and they were like, this is the best job ever. And I'm like, well, I created it.
Yes.
So I had been a writer and interviewer for Elle, and I was always looking for interesting stories and kind of social experiments, to say. I didn't always throw myself into them, but this one came about very naturally.
Okay.
Who has had a breakup?
Oh, come on.
All of us
now.
I had one of those. And I basically, a friend of mine had told me that Tinder was launching a new feature and that you could change your GPS coordinates. And I think it was meant to be like a practical thing, like if you were moving to a new town, you could Tinder in that town, meet somebody ahead of time.
Check out the merch before.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And I basically was like, oh my God, somebody should go around the world in 80 dates. And my friend looked at me and she's like, it's your idea, you do it.
Yeah, of course.
So I, for 2 months, sat in my pajamas in Los Angeles post-breakup. I mean, this is literally like
Yeah, you chocolate.
Yes, you should.
Ice cream, like a chugger, but it was great. It's like, I prescribe this to everybody who's going through a breakup because it's the best remedy to like, go to bed and write all these guys who are in different time zones, and then you wake up with like 20 messages from wonderful men from all over the world being like, good morning, beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God.
This feels so nice.
I'm like, what was his name?
Yeah.
So the idea was to reach out to men who are just good looking.
No, not necessarily. I was genuinely Tindering around the world to meet people that I was attracted to. I always thought that there would be an interesting story in it, as, again, I'm a journalist, I'm always looking for stories. And this really, to me, represented a change in technology in our culture, which is that the dating world is flat. Like our grandparents used to basically be limited to what was in their backyard. Our parents moved to cities and migrated and met people from different places in America, and now the world is yours to date.
The world is your oyster. Ladies
so
and
if you're not
gents.
happy with like the LA dating scene or the New York dating scene, which I hear and have been a part of, but is not the best. Literally, you can there's somebody out there for you who is right.
So what made you swipe right? Because right is to like the person.
Yes.
What caught your eye? That's like, yeah, this one.
That was very interesting in going through the process, because I had never really Tindered and I had never done any of the dating apps. And so it was interesting to me because I was going through hundreds of profiles a day. I would Tinder. I Tindered for 2 months, 20 cities. So I would Tinder in 2 cities a day. And just literally, this is all I did for 2 months. And I was like, I'm not actually dating, I'm just digitally dating, which is very weird, but I didn't have time really to meet anybody.
What's the big difference?
Well,
is it investment? Is it honesty? What's the big difference between online dating and just dating?
Other than the physical factor.
Other than physical,
I think, one, it's very interesting because going back to your question, like, I didn't know what I was attracted to until I saw it. And the people range. I mean, the Elle article, which we'll talk about in a minute, shows that I don't have a type, clearly.
I do.
But like, it was really, like, I saw attractive men, but I'd be like, I can tell you're kind of, I don't know if I can swear, but an a-hole. So I would swipe left, and then, but I think as far as digital dating versus dating in real life, I wasn't in their hookup radius, so this was not about getting together and having, coffee.
There's more trust there when it's not the physical
conversations. Yeah, because some of the people that I met on my trip, we've been talking for 2.5 years.
And were you on your first impression,
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm very good at being
because a digital first impression is different than a physical first impression. A picture, is worth 1,000 words.
No, yes, this is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what picture do you have there? Tell us.
What, you mean a picture of me? Like, I definitely had like shots of me like this, which is not my everyday. But
little thirst trapping here and there. Okay, all right, we'll talk more. And we're back here with the lovely Ashley. Now, we were just talking about first impressions and how the online digital first impression is similar to a real life?
No, well, there's one component that is not there in digital, which is digital is way easier to make a first impression and make a kind of first connection, which kind of parlays into my actual travel. So I did the digital dating, with the intention of always actually traveling around the world.
Nice.
And last year, I got the opportunity to go. So I traveled for 4 months. I went to 35 cities across 6 continents. Which was amazing.
Girl, you have stamps on
you do it.
And then you met men there and asked them.
So I met men from the article. Well, from the men that I met from Tinder, I met in real life, and then I met other men. But then the coolest part of my travel was I decided as I went along, I'd continue kind of what I'd done with Tinder, but in real life. So if I saw somebody attractive, I would stop them and say,
hey, boy.
Hey, I think you're attractive. I had done this article that featured attractive men. I would love to take your photograph and interview you about love, relationships, and dating.
And you were just like,
well, can I?
Yeah.
Well, because as a woman, you're usually approached, although I love approaching men. But it was like being in a different country, not knowing like the customs.
Culture.
So, but I mean, I felt like I was on a manhunt. Like I made more eye contact, and then I'd have to be like, oh no, it's not that. I think you're attractive. But then it also sounds weird. So I'm like, I just want to photograph you and interview you.
So let's see some of these men.
Yes. I love their quotes.
Oh. So that right there is Mike, I believe. You met him in Milan. He lives in New York City.
Mike.
And he said, true masculinity is a mix of respect, understanding, and comfort in oneself and emotions. Knowing who you are and not letting others' opinions affect who you become is a large part of being the man one ought to be. I've been in a relationship throughout most of my modeling career, so I haven't really attempted the dating scene.
Of course,
Mike.
Mike. He's not my type, but I'll lick his face.
When I saw him, I passed him on the street, and I was like, okay, I have to, because these things, you see somebody in a moment, and then it's like, okay, I have to go chase him down.
Yeah.
Where did you come from?
Right. And it was so crazy. He was there for Milan Fashion Week. He was a model, and I thought he would have had this. Like, I asked him about his dating life, and he was like, "Oh, I've been with the same girl." And I was like, "This is so cool because it's demystifying all these things that we think about, men. That there's not just this bro-y guy who has no feelings, or like the nice guy who we don't find attractive.
Let's see the next one. Okay, there is Hank.
Oh, he would be a Hank.
He's so hunky.
Hank says, after every relationship, you get better. You know more about what you want and what you don't want.
Yeah, Hank. Hank
Amsterdam.
learning some lessons.
Hello, Hank.
I will say Amsterdam has, the Dutch men are quite attractive.
100%.
Yes.
I will hear on the Dutch boys.
Who else we have?
Yeah.
Let's see who else we have.
Let's see one more.
I want to. Oh yeah, that's more my type. Hello.
That's Frasier.
Hi, Frasier.
He says, I'm happy to not have swag. Or if I do have swag, it's I'll take care of you swag, not I'll F you and leave you swag.
Aww.
Wait, what about effing me and taking care of me? Hold on a second.
I think he meant he wouldn't, what is it, hit it and quit? I think that was his,
I appreciate that, Frasier. You met him at the gym.
No, I met him in the airport.
Airport.
It's a great story. I'll tell it quickly.
Yes.
But I saw him in line to get on the plane. While we were in flight, I was like, okay, you have to work up the courage. So I literally walked to the back of the plane, saw him. I was like, you come to the back of the plane, which I'm sure.
He's like, no problem. I'll come back there right now.
And then I explained everything to him, and he was very, very kind about it. And I photographed him in Reykjavik airport. But it was so cute because this woman came up and she's like, he does not know how attractive he is. He's got swag. And he's like, and that's when he said that line. And I was like, perfect line.
Nice.
So, question, because we have to go. Are you dating anyone?
Yes.
After
80 dates.
Yes, I am single and dating.
Yeah, girl.
Single doesn't mean not dating.
Yeah.
Single means dating.
But you're not exclusive.
But dating. Okay, go ahead.
Once again, all of the people that I'm dating do not live in the United States.
That's what I ask you. So you're dating, but digitally dating. Exclusively digitally dating.
Basically, yes.
Oh, man.
You gotta teach me how to do
I need more of this. Thank you, Ashley, so much for being with us. It's been so much fun.
Thank you, guys. Yes.